So very good afternoon, you all. Yeah, because of some technical problem, the last class we are unable to take for 1 hour. Today we are starting now. At 2 o'clock, I'll be able to start the class. And this class specially will be starting the new unit, that is XML. XML is not only part of this technology. It is, I can say, it is the latest trend. Whatever the communication between the client and server, everything will be taken care by this XML only. We usually, computer science people, we must have a thorough knowledge about XML, how it differentiates from other things. It is also one of the markup language, and if you understand the full form of this XML is extensible markup language. What is that extensible, and why we'll be using, or is it really used nowadays, or just we have to learn it? All the things I have discussed in details. This till now we were able to communicate through writing programs or through some documents, and especially the HTML we are using only for presentation language. So only for presenting something as it is, we are going for that one. But whenever we want to store and communicate, uh, I don't think HTML is suitable for that one. So the solution or the alternate is this extensible markup language or the XML. Okay. So this is I think it is the recommendation of the W3 school. W3 school, whatever we say, this is the recommendations by them, and it is worldwide accepted. Okay. So we can say that it has two purposes, especially the extensible markup language. It has two main purpose or two main levels. First one, it provides the syntax for documents. How do we go for the documentations? Second thing, that we go for declaring the structure of the document what we are going to declare. Okay. So two things are there. First one is the document. Second one is declaring the structure of that one. So if you compare the HTML and XML, we can clearly understand. In HTML, it is purely the tags are predefined. Already, when you start writing from the very first tag, that is HTML, the browser understands it is purely ends onwards, whatever you are writing, that is the HTML, and whatever the tags it is predefined by the HTML, that only you can use. So anything beyond that, you cannot use it there. So practically, it is not possible. For example, I want to maintain some data, or I want to communicate some data related to cricket match or related to students. So we don't have any tag like student or cricket score, or they are in HTML. So what we are having, I can create a paragraph. I can write the entire thing just like a paragraph and I can send it. But I cannot maintain something like the cricket score, loss of wicket, what is the run rate. So these I cannot use as a tag in HTML. So whenever I want to communicate and store data related to these things in details, so HTML is not suitable. So only just like a newspaper, whatever the things are there to be presented, same thing you can write and same thing you can present it there. You cannot do anything more or anything less than that. Anyway, if you want to make it dynamic or you make one to beautiful, to some extent you can use the cascading style sheet, or you can use the scripting language, any of the scripting language, how to make it a little dynamic. Okay. But so far as it is concerned about storage and communication of the data, HTML is not at all suitable for that one. Okay. So for that, what I told you that the only suitable language is the extensible markup language. So the thing is that whenever a client is communicating with a server, or a server will be communicating with a, all things will happen through XML only. It is not HTML, it will through the XML only it will happen. Okay. So if you see all this markup language, they are derived from this SGML, that is the standard generalized markup language. Okay, I can say so. SGML is the parent of HTML as well as the XML. and it is unanimously, I think it was used by the US Government Printing Office, IBM, and the US DoD, Defense Department of Defense, also Internal Revenue Service, and other so many publishers also they use that. Okay, so we can say this HTML is the founder, or they provided all the basic things, is the foundation for all things, whatever we are using the XML. So we using similar type of tags, what you are using in HTML. So only what is the background knowledge required. People who have minimum knowledge of HTML, they can very much use the XML. But I feel strongly no background knowledge is required for using XML. Say for HTML you may be needed to remember some of the tags. For XML you need not do anything. Who do not know anything, they can very much learn XML. It is the only suitable language for them who do not know anything, who do not understand anything. For them, XML is the best language, and it is the current and latest language all the client server technology will be using. So there is no confusion on that one. So this XML is different from this HTML in this way. First one, it is for storing data, it is for communicating data. So both the things we can use it here, and we can use tags that is as required by the customer or as interested by the customer. Say for example, you can ask what is the tag. You see, whenever we are using HTML, so you are starting with some less than sign, then you are writing something HTML and greater than. This is the first tag or opening tag of HTML. So this opening tag of HTML indicates that from this your HTML program starts. Similarly, inside that I'm writing something body tag less than body closing. Then similarly the closing tag, that is a forward slash and the body and all things. So here the body of that one or something is like the head, something like the title, all things are there. In the similar manner, we can also use it here, but we will not be using any of the tags that is used in HTML. Maybe sometimes we'll be using some like some table and other things, but we can use any word of your choice for this XML. Okay, that is the plus point. We can do it here. So I can come to like this. HTML is also an application of this HTML, but here XML, even if it is an application, it uses elements and attributes both. Okay, so using the tags. So I tell you that, so anything between these less than and the greater than, whatever we write, we call it as a tag. And when it starts with a forward slash here, that tag become a closing tag. And sometimes after this tag, I put a forward slash here, that becomes itself, it is a opening tag and a closing tag for that one. So there is no closing tag. For example, whenever I go for a line break, so I write less than sign br forward slash close. So similarly HR. So this is itself, it is a, because there is no opening and closing tag. Similarly for image also, inserting image, there is no, only one tag is enough for that one. Okay, so like that. So this is the fundamental things. Now you can say, so XML is used to structure the data so that it can be stored and transported or communicated. That is the very important things. That is the reason we will be going for this XML. And in the early days, we are using the program that is for exchanging some data. But now XML, it uses data and markup both. See, previously I am using data using this program. Now XML is using both the data, it is sending both the data and the markup, the presentation style, both the things it can be done. And we have some editors also where we can go for the validation of this XML language, because so whenever we write a language, we usually compile whether the syntax is correct or anything is correct or wrong, all things we can check it there. But for HTML, we don't have any such language. What you have written, it is right or wrong. If it is wrong, it may not run. If it is right, it will run. So that is the thing. But here in XML, we are having some editors. So using those editors, some of them are open source free, some of them you have to purchase. Even if some free are also there, whenever you go for these professional versions, you need to pay some amount. Don't worry for the things. I'll recommend some validator, some software you can download and you can go for the validation of that one. What I'm using, that I'm recommending. Okay. Then we can come to the conclusion. This extensible markup language XML, this was designed to carry data and also to display, not only to display, both it is carry and display. and it is a recommendation by the W3 World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, so this is the thing we come to know about this XML. Now we'll be going for some of the programs. How do we start this XML program? And now we have understood what is the importance of this XML and why we will be interested for these things. Then we'll immediately go for how do we write an XML program. See, a question comes, do we need to install any extra software for that one? It is no. No software is required for writing any HTML, any XML languages. Then how it will work? You see, any of the editor you are available, even if you are nothing, you are having Notepad editor you are having. You can use Notepad for writing XML program. You can use any of the editor, whatever you suppose you are having something like your what I am using Sublime. You can use that Sublime. Suppose you are having that is Microsoft Visual Studio VSC Visual Studio Code. That also you can use. You are having Atom. You are having anything, any type of editor you are having. You can use any editor. The purpose is just to write it and save it with the extension XML. When you save it with the extension XML or DTT or XSL, then it becomes that particular file. Okay, that procedure you know. So if you want to let me know. So the lesson here, just you go to the command line here, just to type CMD. With the CMD, you can go to the command prompt and press enter. Okay, then what you find? You find the C drive, then the users and user. My things are there. It is there in C drive. So come to the C drive by typing CD space /. So you are in C drive, and you can see a number of directory here by typing dir and entering. So this much of the directories are available. I created a special directory XML. You can see it here. I created this directory XML. So for creating a directory, you can make it mkdir space. What is the directory name? I have created mkdir space XML. So my directory XML is created. Okay. So now I want to go to that XML directory. So it is simple cd space XML. When you type these things, you enter into the XML. Now previously you are in C drive. In the C drive, you are in the folder XML folder. Now you check what are the folder and files are there. So this much of files or this much of program I have written, it is already available there. Okay. Suppose I want to open any of this program there. Say suppose I want to open my program bp.xml. So how you open? So because I have already installed and configured Sublime, just to type subl space bp.xml, because this is the file already existing already there. Even if you want to create a new file also, write the same command subl space bb.xml. Okay. So now where it is located? See, it is now because we are already inside the folder XML. Okay, we created a folder and we are already inside the folder XML. So whatever the file sends forward we will be creating, it will be under XML only. So then this bb1.xml is inside this folder XML. Just enter. You can see the program already running here. So this is bb.xml. This is the file. Okay, don't worry for this big program and all things. I'm not going to explain anything here. I will give you a small one and we will go for this small one. Now let us see. We are writing a very small program on this. Forget about the first line. Don't worry for the first line now. That I will explain now afterwards. I am writing some program on XML that is regarding a book. So for a book, so what is the tag available in HTML? We don't have any tag for writing a book. So we can write a paragraph or we can use some other tags, what is already available. But here I want to use a tag book. I want to use a tag book name. I want to use a tag title. I want to use tag author. I want to use tag price. I want to use tag publishers. Whatever it comes to my mind, all these things I want to use as tags. Then it becomes very easy, because in these tags I can store all the things and it is very easy for me to display all the things also. Then when I can store and display, then I can communicate, I can send it through internet, and you can also, anybody can access it, authorized people can access it. Okay, now the job becomes damn easy. Now it's clear, because writing a program like this, suppose I want to write some menu for a hotel. What the great thing you have to do? You write menu, opening tag, closing tag, menu. Then you write non-veg, opening tag, closing tag non-veg. Then inside the non-veg you write some chicken 65, mutton 65, whatever things you write non-veg item. Suppose you are writing the veg menu. Inside the veg you write so fried rice, you are having paneer butter, you are having mushroom, you are having what the things are there. So write a opening tag, inside you write the content and close with a closing tag. So now you can understand writing a programming using XML, it is the damn easy. No background knowledge, only who know A to Z and 0 to 9 and some special character who can understand, he can write program with XML. Clear? But you remember, unless you understand this XML, it is difficult than any difficult subjects. You understand? So it is very easy to understand and master. But if you do not understand this one, then it is too difficult for you. You cannot do anything with that one. So okay. So now we are going slowly and we are explaining everything bit by bit. If you have a doubt or anything, you can raise a question or you can raise your hands and you can ask the questions. That I will be clarifying. But remember, this is not only important for exam point of view. As a computer science engineer, throughout your career, you will be using this XML. So you must be very conversant, because even if this HTML part you have not attended, you see the program, you can master. It is only some till now I think 8 to 10 hours video lectures I have given. So this 10-hour video you see in one day also you can master the unit 1. So there is no great thing there. Maybe some people you have some idea about these things in the first year itself, second year itself. Now you being in final year, there is nothing to worry about the HTML. Only some of the tricks what I have given to you, that part you will learn. Then some extra thing I have given this WML, but my sorrow is that till now only one student has seen it. It is not in your textbook and it is not available anywhere. So maybe some part will be available in the I think in the web, and we cannot implement all the things. So I have assigned to some students, I think Jay and other people are given. So if you do, or at least what I have implemented in my system, that day I was showing it is unable to show some images in the WML. So what are there? I am showing some path. Remove all the path there. Just under this source src, double quotation, what is the file name you put it? That is some file done WML, and that file you keep it in the same folder where your WML program is there. It is running, and I can show you the output. Maybe time permits, I also show it. Now you understand, while I am writing an XML program for this book, here I have written the book, opening tag is book, it is very easy, less than, book, greater than, and less than, forward slash book. So this is the book opening and closing, we call it as a pair, and this pair we call it a pair of tag. Okay, so from this XML should understand, here inside what is the content, it is related to book. Suppose you want to do something on CD, you write it CD, opening tag, closing tag CD. Suppose you want to write some electronics goods, you write opening tag electronics goods, closing tag electronics, whatever the electronics goods, the name, the title, the cost, the ID, whatever you write, same thing. Okay, so like that I have written it there, this one book.xml. But at the top you can see I have written something that I have referred here something to the book.dtd. See, I will come to that one at this moment. Don't worry for that. What is the meaning of that one? See, I just explaining you that how to write an XML program. Okay, so this XML program, it is only what I have shown. It is just like the HTML. It is for a presentation, but the computer or your browser does not understand what you have written, because book is not predefined. What is the meaning of book? Computer does not understand. Understand? Because when you are writing it is as a tag in this XML, what is the meaning of the book? Your browser will never understand. What is the meaning of this book name? It will never understand. What is the meaning of this title? It will not understand. So what you have to do? You have to write some rules. You have to write some rule, or you have to write some structures for that one. How the computer will understand that one. So that part is only important. And what is that part for this book? It is book.dtd. When I write the rules for this book, then your computer can understand. Okay, let us go to the book.dtd. Now you see, this is a dtd file. Okay, document type definition dtd, document type definition dtd. So this is only the rules or the structure of the program what you have given, that you are explaining to your browser or to your program. Okay, so almost all the browser you know, or I know, everything it supports XML, so there is nothing to worry. So all the browser by default it will support it. It is in any operating system. It is Mac, it is OS2, it is any operating system. It will support. There is nothing to worry. No need to install any. Only for validation you need to install a software for that one. Okay, that I'll tell. Now let us go for declaring this DTD. What is the rule? That means what is the meaning of book I am defining. What is the meaning of this book name? What is the title? Everything I am defining it here. Now see, so when I'm starting a less than sign, I am putting just like one exclamatory. What is the meaning of that one? The meaning of that one, it is a declaration that is less than and exclamatory. It is the meaning that means I am going to declare something. What I am going to declare? I am going to declare the element. What is the so less than exclamatory element? I declared element. What is the name of the element? The name of the element is book. Here book is the element. Okay. So if you want to declare an element, you have to write less than exclamatory element, all are in capital letter. Then name of the element is book. Now the question comes, inside the book, what you are going to use? That you have to define here and all will be separated by a comma. Okay. I am going to use book name, comma, title. Suppose I want to use here who is the publisher, what is the price, what is the author, all the things I want to use. All must be used here, all are in lowercase and separated by comma. Okay, now what we say, the first one, I told you that it is just a declaration of the element. The second one is the name of the element, and the third one, what we are using, that we I'll explain you that one also. That is any further things we'll be using inside that one. All the things we are going to define there. Okay. So this we call it as the content model. So inside this braces, what you are writing, this we call it as the content model. We call it as the content model. So what is the syntax? So syntax is the first the declaration of the element, then is the element name, then you write the content model. What is the content model here in the first line? Book name, comma, title, they are the content model. The second, so something you are writing content model. Okay. Now we have to explain the system now. What about the book name? So now the less than exclamatory element, that means I am declaring an element. What is that element name? I am going for the book name. Okay. Now I am giving this explanation to the computer. What is the book name? For book name, he is telling has PC data. P stand for parsed, C stand for the character data. So parsed character data for this book name, it will accept some data. What is the data? It will accept some character data for that one. So I say the book name you write 1, 2, 3, it will not accept. There will be some error. So book name means it will be artificial intelligence, or it will be artificial neural network, or it will be web technology. 94401, it is not a book name. A book can never carry a name like this 944012161. Okay. Similar the title. So whenever I come across like this, so PC data, or I can use has PC data, that means parsed character data. That means it needs some character to be written against this book name or this title. It's clear? So similarly, I have gone for the title. Suppose you want to write more things like the publisher, like the year of publication, like the cost or the price, or unit, whatever you want to write. For each and everything, you have to write further sub elements and write the name of that element and write what is the what I told you that content model also you have to write for that one. Okay. So this is about the syntax. Now the question comes, then what type of things we can use it here? Okay, so we can use different type of elements. One element is text only, so we can write text only. For text only we are using has PC data, that means it is there. Similarly we can go for child only. For child only you see in the first element here, these are the children, this is the root. What is the root element? Root element is the book, because I started with the book, then inside the book I have written book name, title. So book name is one element, title is one element, book is also one element. So what is the root element? Root element is book, because you see inside the book only I am writing all other things. Clear? So the root element is book, And under that, what are the, because if somebody is the parent, who are the children, we call it as the child. Okay, so book name is the child element, title is the child element. Like that, you can have a number of child elements under this parent element or the root element. Okay, so remember, what is the first element you are starting, that is always the root element. What is the root element here? Book is the root element here. So opening tag book and closing tag book. What is the child elements are there? There are two child elements here. Now first one is the book name, opening tag and closing tag. Second one is the title and also the title. Okay, so this is about these things. Now suppose I have written this book.xml. I want to, or on this program, you can clearly see the output is here. Okay, so you can see, you can say me, sir, what is the output? Output should come no core Java and core Java title. XML is not for presentation. It is only for storing, and it is used for storing, and it is used for communication, for sending some information to others. But you can see the content. For that, you have to write the XSLT, and you have to attach that reference here, and you can run what is the file. It will be converted to HTML, and you can see the output. That also I'll show you, and how to do that is different topic. That at the initial stage, you don't worry for that one. You remember now. So if your program is running successfully and the output is coming like this, okay? Now you see program is coming, not coming. What is my concern? I have to check that whether my program is running successfully or not. So how do I check that my program is running successfully or not running, or whether it is validate or not validate? So for that, what I need to do, I need to download some software. So I have downloaded a software. I call it the XML validator. You can see it here, XML validator body, some application 4.0 that I already downloaded and already installed here. Suppose I double click here. Suppose I double click here, and you can see the editor. It is opening like this. Okay. Now, so by default it is there. So you can select. I'm not going to open that one. Now we were dealing with the book file. Okay. Now go to the file, go to the open. In this open file, I go for the book, because don't go for the books. I go for the book. Okay. So this book file was there. I open this book file. So what is the content there? It has opened here. Now you can see it here in this file. Edit is there, view is there. In the view, you can see text view, grid view, JSON schema view. So if you click all the things will appear one by one. No need, because the minimum things will only, I need the report and all minimum things what is required, that I have selected it here. Similarly, on the XML, so you write a XML program, you can go for the XML validate. Similarly, JSON program, JavaScript object notation, like that, those things also we can write, and you can also validate. So all the things, the different tools and help, all things are available here. Now I was showing you that book.xml file, and I already opened that one. Now I am going to validate. Now I select this one, and I right click and clear the result. Now there is no result for that one. I am going to validate my program. So for validating, you can see in a green color circle there is a tick mark there. So, or in window we can press F8. Okay, by pressing F8 you can see the file is valid. It is showing the file is valid. So okay, so now it is a valid file. That means the program is validated. So because there are two programs here, one is the book.xml, another is the book.dtd. Now let me check whether the book.dtd is validated or not. I'm going for the book. You can, from this icon you can understand is it a DTD program, and from this icon you can understand is the XML program. Now you open this one and open. This was my DTD program. This was my DTD program. Okay. Now in this DTD program, I select all the things. Then I clear this data. Okay. Now I go for these things, all these. Now it is also showing. This is also, you see, the file is valid. The XML book.dtd is validated. Okay. So this is my. So if you want to go for that, this is my results, or you can see the report here also. File somewhere report will be there also. Yeah, view report is there, lines view, anyway somewhere report will be there.
JSON, JSON file extension tools, performance you can see, or anyway, somewhere the report is there also. You can check the report. Anyway, the report you can see it here also. Here, if any error is there, it will show the error. If it is a warning is there, it will show the warning. If the message is there, so it is a validated one. Okay. Now, both your files, XML program and DTD files, both are validated. Okay. Now, the question comes: how many type of this type of DTD is there? Whether all the times we write the DTD inside the XML file or we write it separately? No. There are two types of DTD there. One is the internal DTD, other one is the external DTD. Okay, two type of DTD programs are there. One is the internal DTD, second one is the external DTD. What I am using it here now in this program book.xml, I am using an external DTD file, that is book.dtd. So this is not internal. So I will show you an example how to write the internal also. So this I have written two separate program. One is book.xml, that is the XML file. I have written another program because that is book.dtd. So I have provided a link here to this one. Okay. So now you go to the XML, you can see it here. Now I'm coming to explain you the first line, because I told you that don't worry for the first line. I will explain you later. I'm going to explain the first line. Okay. See, till now only I'm writing these things, but you can also start with writing the XML program and all things. So I'll show you all the things also. Now, I told you that when you start with less than and exclamatory, it is only it is just for a declaration. Okay, so it is declaring an that is the doc type. I'm using it here. It is part of this HTML, and my root element is book, and here I am using system. Why I am using system? Because this HTML what you are using, it can be private, it can be public, or it can be different types of there. Okay, what do you mean by public and what is private? Private is that one is internal, one is okay. Private is that which is applicable to a particular project. Public is there, it is available in the net, and anybody can take a reference of that one. That program is available for all. Then we call it as a public. Okay. When it is available only for this program, this what is the program I have written book.dtd. It is not available for all. It is available in my system. It is for this program or for this project. That's why it is private to me. When it is private to me, you have to use the word system. SYSTEM. If it is public, then you have to use the word public, PUBLIC. There is a different syntax for that one. While I will be dealing that public, that I will tell you. Now you are accessing the private DTD here. So now what I am telling you that for going for this private, we have to use the word system. Then you give the name of the file what you are using. So my file name is book.dtd. That already I have written in the same folder it is existing. I have given. If it is other than this folder, then you have to give the complete path of that one. Suppose it is in D drive, colon, / it is in this folder, that folder, entire path you have to write it here. Otherwise, it cannot understand. Okay. So now this is the thing. Now I will be going for what are the different type of content models you will be using. What is content model? So come to our book.dtd. So you can see what is there inside the braces. It is the content model. Okay. So how many type of content models are there? You note down. There are 5 type of content models. How many? There are 5 type of content models. The first one is text only. When it is text only, for example, book name, it is text only. I'm writing has PC data. It is only, it will accept some text. Similarly, title, it only accept text. Another one, it is child only. For example, the first line, when I'm going to the root element book, it contains only children. That is the book name, title, publisher, author, say for example, year, publishing, cost, and also all the things. I think the editions, all the things it can be there. Okay. So this is the things what is there inside the braces there in the first line. Here I am using all these are children of the element book. So this book I call it as the root element, and what are the element inside the braces?
we call it as the child element. We call it as the child element. Okay. So now two type of things we learned. One is only text only, that is the second line and third line. The first one, that is the only, we call it as the child only. Similarly, we are having another three, that is the empty element, and the fourth one is any element, and fifth one is the mixed element. That is a combination of both text only and child. Okay. So these are the five type of content models are available for us, and we can practice all the things one by one. I hope we can take a couple of programs here so now because of validation part I have successfully validated, I minimize all things. I go to my second program. Now I go for a program that is BB. Okay, open this yeah. So I'm going for that one. Then I go for BB XML. Okay, you see, wherever you are going for any type of XML program, the first line you must start with less than question mark XML version is equal to, what is the version? Version is equal to 1.0 under double quotation and end question mark and end this one. Okay. So this is mandatory for all XML. You can say, sir, why am I not use these things in the first line? Yes, intentionally I did not use, because that time I am using simply how to write XML, but that is not a complete XML program. If you want to make it complete, that one, copy this one here, Control C, and then you go to your book.xml, then you type it here, enter, and then you put it here, Control V. So this is, then only your XML program is complete, and put it Control S. Okay, right? So now we are going for the BB. We are studying the BB.xml. Yeah, right. So now the first line start with less than question mark XML. So without these things, your file is not considered as a XML file. So instead of writing HTML and closing tag HTML, your file is not considered as HTML. Maybe sometimes it will run because you are saving with the extension of HTML, but all the functionality will not work. But here, strictly, you have to use the less than question mark XML version, which is equal to under double quotation 1.0, because we are using XML version 1.0 right now. Okay. After that, what are the program I explained? Everything you can write it here. For writing comment, we can use like this, less than this exclamatory declaration space hyphen whatever this is my comment I'm writing, then hyphen space hyphen and greater than. So inside this, what you are writing, they are not going to execute it. They are the comments and they are the self-explanatory part. I'm writing this is the meaning there, or this is the author there, or something I'm writing there. Okay. Now let us write a small program that is the root element of that one is beginner's book. I'm writing the beginner's book. Then if the root element is beginner's book, then what will be my tag will here? It will be starting with beginner tag, beginner's book. Say come to the XML code first, forget about the first time, because DTD and XML both are combined here. This is the internal DTD, what we call. That means when DTD is attached to the XML, we call it as the internal DTD. We call it as the internal DTD. Now, first I explain the XML part, then we'll go to the DTD part. Okay. Now you come to line number 11 to line number 16 here, and the first line I'm using it here, the beginner's book opening tag, and the closing tag is also beginner's book. So these are the root element for me. Okay. So when I start this doc type, what I have to write first? I have to write my root element. So beginner's book, that I have written it here, the beginner's book here. Then inside the square bracket, whatever you write and close it with this greater than sign, all the things will be only the DTD part. They will be only how to structure the XML, that part will be there. Then after that, whatever you are writing here, these are purely the XML program. In this XML program, first one is the beginner's book and the closing tag beginner's book. Then inside, suppose I am writing mail to somebody or message to somebody. The first will be to opening tag, closing tag to, and from opening tag, closing tag from, and subject, because without a subject it will give a error that there is no subject shall I send.
So subject name, suppose subject name and close the subject, then actual message, then whatever things are there also you write it there inside the message. Okay, so these are the things, because you see this thing it is not possible in HTML, you cannot do it because to tag, from tag, subject tag, message tag, it will not, XML will not, HTML will not understand, you cannot do all the things. In XML you can clearly do all. Okay, so now I have done it there. Now what is the XML program I have written, how I am going to provide structure for that one. Okay, what is the first line? First line I started with the declaration that I am using the XML program and the version of my XML program is 1.0. Why the version is important? Because sometimes there will be some compatibility issue, because you are writing in version number 2, it may not be compatible with 1, or you are writing version number 3, it does not exist. Say different versions have different compatibility issue. Okay, so it becomes mandatory, especially for these things, to write the version. So our current version we are using for XML, that is 1.0. Clear? Okay, now my root element is beginners, then exclamatory doc type, beginners book, then I start here the DTD part inside here, then I start element beginners book. Inside the beginners book, what are the child elements are there? The child element is to, from, subject, message, and you can write all the things inside the braces separated by comma, to, comma, from, comma, subject, comma, message. Then one thing you have to remember, whenever you are writing all the child elements separated by comma, you have to provide all the data in the same order. Okay, so XML is case sensitive and you have to stick on to the orders also. HTML is not case sensitive. Any write you write lower case, uppercase, combination of all the cases, it list further about that one, it will understand everything. But here it is case sensitive. It also you have to define in a proper order. If you don't want to write in order, there is different way how to do that. I will explain. Okay. Then we have to explain the child elements. The element 2. What is 2? This data is required because I need some past character data for that one. From, similar thing, subject, similar thing, message, similar things. First you write whatever coming to your mind as a program, then you write the structure for that one, you explain to that one. Now you save this program with the file name bb and with the extension .xml. Now the bb ttd, there is no such file because the ttd part is already in. Any doubt is there? Hello, any of students, any doubt or anything, you can tell me. All of you, anyone got any doubt? Are you able to see all the things properly? Yeah, so I don't think, because there is no, only 53 students are present there today, and Bharat, yeah, some background knowledge is there. Somebody you can mute. Surya, Durga, Satya, Sita, Bhavana, Chand, Amrita, Anjani, Gita, Anusa, Anil, Garam, okay, Bhagavan, Vivek Lamsal, Pandey, Deepak Pandey. Okay, good. There's Javir is not attentive. Javir is not listening, and this Guru Teja is not attentive. Yeah, good. Some people they muted. Yeah, I think Nagaguru Teja, you can mute. Nagaguru Teja, you can mute. You can mute your audio. Okay, self-muted. Okay, no issue. So nobody is having a question till now. So then we can proceed, I think. Okay, nice. Now, I run this program. So my program was BB. Just I go to the BB1. Sorry, the BB was there. So I go to the this and just double click. Now you see. So this was my file. To, from, subject, message, all things as it is coming there. Okay. So don't worry, sir. Actual content is not coming. XML is not for that purpose. It is only for storage and communication. And I will be showing how to bring this content in HTML. That is not now. Maybe after 3 or 4 classes, that I will show that one, because you will be using the concept of XSL and XSSLT. It's clear? Now, yeah, we go to the other file bb1. Okay, we completed the bb, then we are going to the bb1. Okay, so now file, open file, then you go to the bb1.xml. Yeah, same thing I'm writing here. My program start with less than XML version is equal to 1. And here what, because the previous file what I've done, that I used internal DTD. Here I'm not using internal DTD. Here the syntax is different. I'm writing exclamatory doc type. Then I'm writing the root element beginners. Then I'm writing system because it is a private DTD. So I'm using system, and under double quotation, what is the file name? I'm using bb1.dtd because my program one is bb1 XML. I have created another file that is bb1.dtd. But if you remember, in bb, okay. So anyway, so I'll show that on 23. Now in the beginner books, so to my reader, from, subject, message, beginners book, all things are there. Okay. Now I go for the bb1.dtd file, open file. Now now I go for this bb1.dtd. Now open. Yeah. Now you can see similar things. I declared my element name is beginners book. Then I go to from subject messages. All these are equal to the child elements. Okay. So what type of content, the one type, what type of content method we are using it here, model? So it is only child only, because first line is child only. What are the children? Who is a child of beginner's book? From is a child, subject is a child, message is a child. Now individually you have to divide element 2, 2 means has PC data. So it is parsed character data is required. From is like that, subject is like that, message is like that. Okay. When you do all the things, then you save it. So this file I am saving with the extension .dtd, and the previous file I am sending with the extension .xml. Okay. So then what I do, I go for the file and try to run. So you go for bb1.xml and try to run this program. Try to run this program. You can see the output it is coming to, from, subject, message, and all things that it is coming. Now you can ask a question, sir, you did not parse this one. We do not know whether it is right, it is valid or not. Yes, we are going to parse it now, whether it is validated or not. Now I am going to open the file. So immediately we have gone for this bb1.xml. I opened this bb1.xml. This is my file. Then I go for this validation. Yeah, the file is valid. Just I selected the, I opened this file. Then I click this one F8. That is the validated file. Then it is showing. So if I have a doubt, I click it here. I clear the result here. Then I go for the validation, and it is showing the file is valid. It is showing the file is valid. And also if the XML file is valid, also you can say it F7. Check the XML well formed. Whether it is well formed, you check it here. Yes, the file is also well formed here. Or you can go to XML, or you can validate here also the same thing F8, and all the cases it is showing the file is valid. Okay. So bb1 xml file is valid, it is validated. Then I have to go for my bb1 .dtd. So bb1, from this icon you can understand this is bb1.dtd, and open. So this is my DTD file. Then this file also, because first I click this one, then I clear the results, then I go for the validation, I click, and it is showing the file is valid. Okay. So like that you can write all the files, you save it with the extension, it will be the Excel file with the extension .xml. If it is the DTD file with the extension .dtd, then you can validate each and every file using this validator. Okay, this software what I told you that you download and install in your system, and using this software you can also validate. It's clear? Then I am so we completed BB, then we completed BB. Can you hear?